You're late. No, it doesn't really matter this time. There's no assignment due or anything, but you're still late. Well, come on. Come in. I'm not looking to air condition the entire town of Dahlia. No, I don't need the AC to be on. I mean, I'm a fire elemental. Heat and I go hand in hand. I can go a whole summer without it on and be just fine, but I had invited you over, and I wanted to make sure you were comfortable. Don't aw at me, you weirdo. I was being considerate. I'd do that for anyone. Well, maybe not anyone. Or even most people. Regardless, it was common courtesy. You don't have to act like it's a thing. Can I get you something to drink? Are you hungry? Did you already eat? Okay. Here. Not everything has to be practice. I figured I could just hand it to you for once. Besides, it's not like you need any practice. We both aced that class. Shall we sit on the couch? I mean, we finally don't have a mountain of textbooks to sort through, so I guess we don't need the table for once. Good. Me. I don't think nervous is the right word. Nervous can mean a lot of things. Maybe I'm a little preoccupied, but then again, I do that a lot. One of the hazards of always trying to think a few steps ahead. Well, I'm thinking about things I should probably say. Things that I've been meaning to say. Things that I worry will kill the mood or ruin this opportunity we have to finally not think about coursework for a while. We finally have a shot at just hanging out again, which I'm grateful for, and I'm not looking to fuck that up before it's even really started. But I've got stuff on my mind. So, I guess I would go with the word preoccupied. I don't... Alright. If you really want to just jump into it, I suppose I can oblige. Honesty is a big deal for me. Honesty in intention. Honesty in expectation. Honesty in feelings. I want to be clear about what I'm feeling, and I'm going to try very hard not to let my own reservations and fears keep me from embodying that honesty that I value when I say this to you. You are important to me. You're an important part of my life, which I didn't expect to happen when I met you. And I don't mean that as any kind of commentary on you or on my first impression of you. I don't mean it that way at all. I'm a solitary person. I don't really know when I made that choice, if I ever even really did. It was decided for me when I was younger, when people decided that what I was defined who I was. And I won't lie about the fact that I have a temper, and that when I was faced with people who kept telling me I was just some angry hothead that wasn't worth knowing, that it did make me mad and distant, and it made it harder to trust that other people wouldn't make those same assumptions about me. So, somewhere along the line of my life, I decided that I was a loner because I wanted to be, and not because they made me be one. Because I wanted the choice. I wanted the agency that they didn't want to give me. So I took the title that they gave me and I wore it on my sleeve, so that every new person I met wouldn't know that it wasn't my decision. And that's just how I've lived my life since then. I had goals and plans, meticulously outlined plans that I knew would get me where I wanted if I stuck to them. If I didn't let people get to me. If I didn't let people in. For me, adolescence was just a waiting game that I wanted to end. For me, I needed to study and work hard and score highly and get my certification and get a job in the administration and start making some changes to the system, and then I'd have time for getting close to people, for letting people in. I just needed to put the blinders on and keep my head down for 5 or 6 years, and then I could worry about friends and relationships and all those little things that I couldn't plan and outline. And it was working. I blasted through all my classes. I got good grades. I was on the right track. I didn't have a single doubt in my mind that I would reach every goal I had set for myself. And then I didn't. I failed. It was one class, and I know that to most people that would probably seem genuinely insignificant. It wasn't, going to set me back on my timeline. It wasn't going to ruin my plans. It was just a class that I needed to retake. And I understand why to most people that wouldn't be a big deal. But it was more than that to me. It was the first time in a long time when I had to look at those plans that I'd set in stone years ago and see that they might not work out perfectly. Maybe I'd fail another class. Maybe I'd burn out. Maybe I wouldn't get hired. Maybe I wouldn't be able to make any meaningful difference in a machine that had been around so long, that had so much history and pressure holding it in the past. Maybe the plans that I'd framed my entire life around weren't assured anymore. And maybe I'd been putting off other important parts of my life along the way, all in service of a goal that I might not ever reach. I was living 5 years ahead. I wasn't being present in my own experiences. I was my future. It was the thing I'd built all my behavior on, and now, for the first time, I saw that there were cracks in the foundation. And maybe those cracks would bring the whole thing down before it was ever finished. Or maybe nothing would come of those cracks, and everything would work out exactly how I'd wanted, and even in that scenario where everything went right, I still would have spent years of my life isolated and unfulfilled and bitter. I might get everything I'd ever wanted and still have missed out on everything that would have made the journey getting there worth experiencing. I'm not a demon. I'm not a vampire. I'm not gonna live forever. My time here is finite, and I don't want to look back at an entire portion of my life and know that I wasn't happy when I could have been happy. I would rather accept that tiny amount of greater risk of not reaching my goals because of the potential distraction of letting people into my life than go on with walls so high that I can't even see over them anymore. And that's where you come in. You came into my life right in the middle of all of that internal conflict. Right then, when I was finally faced with the reality of the decisions I'd made and the opportunities I'd squandered, and that fight between the person I wanted to become and the person I wanted to be in the moment. And I put some of that on you. And I'm sorry for that. Even in all of the reassessing and reorganizing, I still care deeply about my progress and my success and my grades and my plans. And that's not going to change. I still value those things very much. But there were times when I let you be collateral damage in the face of that, where I pushed you to focus on your studies with the same intensity that I did, and that would have been unfair in the best of circumstances, much less given everything you were going through. No, it doesn't matter that I didn't know at that point. It still was inconsiderate and selfish. And I'm sorry. Well, thank you. But to get more to my original point, failing that class wasn't the only thing that shook up my life. Meeting you did, too. Getting to know you did. I mean, that project might have forced us to work together, but it didn't force us to become friends. We did that. You showed me more patience and consideration than I'd experienced in a long time. And I was able to trust you like I hadn't trusted anyone in a long time. You're my best friend. And I don't say that from a lack of competition. Though, to be fair, there wasn't much competition for the title. I say it because I feel closer to you than I have felt with a friend. it's not even about how much we may or may not share with one another. It's the feeling deeply held that I can share things with you, and that we can trust each other with things. I've had friends before. I've never had a friend that I felt as close to as I do to you. That's what I mean when I say that you're my best friend. And there's also something else that I wanted to tell you. And I have gone over this in my head a million times. You know me. I'm the planner. I've gone over it a million times, trying to figure out the right wording and the right timing. I don't know the right words, and I don't know the right time, but I know how I feel, and I know that I can trust you to hear me when I say it, however you might feel about it. I have feelings for you. I like you. I care about you, and I'm so glad you're in my life, shaking things up and making me better. And if that's only as friends, then that is a friendship that I will cherish for as long as we're in each other's lives. And I'm not trying to put any kind of pressure or expectation on any of this, but I have feelings for you. And I wanted you to know that. And if you feel the same, then I'd really love the chance to explore that with you, if you want to. You mean that? I didn't want to have this admission happen like this at the end of a conversation where I was talking about how I felt lonely. I don't want there to be some kind of impression that I'm trying to guilt you into closeness or pity. I only want this if you do. If it's really how you feel. Yes, you can. Please do. This is really happening. Holy shit. I'm not gonna lie. I may have planned this a million different ways, but I never let myself think about how it might go if you said yes. I don't know. I wanted to be in this moment, not thinking of a roadmap, not thinking of a plan. Can we... Yeah. Thank you. No, not for the kiss. Although it was wonderful both times. And I look forward to many more in the future. But no, I meant thank you for being, well, you. In all the shapes and forms that takes in my life. You are an incredible person. I don't tell you that enough. And a lot of this is gonna be uncharted territory for me. So, I guess I should warn you that I might continue to not tell you the right things enough, and I will probably have some pitfalls along the way of this, but what I feel for you is real and heartfelt and honest. And I'm grateful for you.